The stories in this episode come from the Reddit community and are not my own. Links to their original source are in the description, as well as contact information should you wish to either submit your own story or request the removal of a story from an episode. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Stories with me, Jesse. Today's stories come once again from the judgmental and condescending adults over at Reddit/entitledparents. Let me know what you think of these stories in the comments, as well as any suggestions you might have that we may just use in a future installment. Prepare yourself for your daily dose of Karens, because we're getting started now. Our first story is titled, "Entitled Mother Tried to Yell at Me Because She Crashed Her Nice Car Into My Old Car." This is before quarantine, so I'm 15 and I have my driver's permit, and my friend, 18, has her driver's license, so she was in the passenger seat. So basically, I was just driving to a Jack in the Box or Tim Hortons, whichever one was closer, and we stopped at a red light, and as it changed to green, I went, and this lady rams into my side door in the back, and thankfully none of us were harmed. Anyway, we quickly got out of there as we grabbed out wallets, phones, the important stuff afterwards. Anyway, I started to panic as I'm crying at this point, and this is where Entitled Mother pops in.
What the f*** did you just do to my perfect car?
I couldn't speak as my friend stepped in.
You ran a red light, dumbass. Were you driving? No, but I saw everything. It was you driving!
Looking at me, I managed to nod as she said,
"You are too young to drive!"
She laughed slightly as she thought she was going to throw one minor and a new adult in jail and get money from it. Basically, Entitled Mother crossed her arms and waited for the police as we traded insurance cards. The police come and assess the situation as they question Entitled Mother first.
"Those two were drunk driving and almost killed me and my baby boy!"
She had what seems to be an 8-year-old, which seemed fine as the police talked to him as people checked all of us for any damage.
"My baby boy is scared, and this just ruined life for him!"
The police just nodded and went to us. I was still crying. This seems like I'm a baby, but I have autism, which makes me scared of confrontation and yelling, and most definitely anything bad. And so basically the police questioned us as we explained the situation and showed him our driver's license and IDs. The police were extremely nice to me as I had a card explaining my autism, and they just generally helped me calm down. Anyway, the police saw cameras for a store outside, which caught everything as they checked the traffic cameras and the store cameras. Entitled Mother smirked like a demon as she thought she would get away with this, and the police came back saying they watched the footage as the color drained out of her face as she kept changing her story to get out of the situation as she said,
"My boy needs to go to football practice. If he's late, he will be kicked off the team, and it's gonna be your fault,"
while yelling at the officer, and then 10 seconds later she said,
"My mom is in the hospital, and I need to see her before she dies."
And then,
"My baby boy needs to go to the doctor for shots,"
etc. So basically, in the end, she was in a police cruiser, and I was taken to Tim Hortons in an Uber with my friend and back to my home. I did press charges as there were so many witnesses, and in court she broke down saying,
"I need to feed my kids."
While she had like Gucci and Louis Vuitton, I was able to fix my car, and I never ran into her again. TLDR, lady runs a red light and then lied to the police and gets exposed by cameras and breaks down in court, saying she needs to feed her kids as she holds Gucci and Louis Vuitton merchandise. Seriously? This entitled mother crashes into your car while running a red light and then blames you for it while lying to the police? I would have taken her to court too. Accidents sometimes happen, and I'm glad that everyone made it out okay. But the best thing that you can do is admit your mistake and handle the situation like an adult. But what do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Moving on, our next story is called Karen and Company Want to Pet My Service Dog. This happened yesterday, and while, as usual, many will call me an a-hole, I still don't feel bad about it. I'm on my way home from work and decide that I need to do my grocery shopping then, because I'm exhausted and know I won't get out again once I get home. Important to note at this point, for those that don't know, I have a service dog in training, Sadie, that goes everywhere with me. So I was in the membership version of America's most popular store and browsing to see what groceries I'd need for the month when I hear the familiar high-pitched squeal of the increasingly common vagina banshee. Now, this isn't an uncommon occurrence, as anyone who's seen my dog will tell you that she's absolutely adorable. Half Great Pyrenees, half Catahoula leopard dog, 7 months old, and 65-ish pounds. She knows better than to interact with people at this point, but she does do as she's trained as she sees the kid running up and puts herself between myself and the kid. Not really in a guard stance, but sideways between myself and the kid, and touching the back of my leg so I know where the person is approaching from. In this case, I already knew, but I still turned around and gave her a treat. She's still learning after all. Told her to heel. She does as she's told, and the kid slows and comes to a stop, now that I'm in between him and Sadie.
Your dog is so cute. I want to pet it.
I'm sorry, but see the vest with the patches she's wearing? It says service dog, do not touch. That means she's working right now and can't be distracted. I don't really like kids much beyond my niece and nephew, so I'm not good at telling ages and didn't really know if he could read. I figured he knew to obey signs though, so I thought if I told him what it said he'd understand. Nope, he still hasn't earned his nickname quite yet.
So what's a service dog? She doesn't look busy. Just one pet.
He's not being rude, just sounds more curious than anything, so I don't really mind explaining, and I notice a woman push her cart up behind him, so I assume she's his mom, and I feel a bit more relaxed about the situation. A service dog is a dog that helps people do things. There are all types of jobs dogs can do, but they can't be distracted because their owners need them to pay attention to only them in case something happens.
But she's just sitting there right now. If she's not gonna get back to work, you should let me pet her.
Now at this point, I guess I should have noticed the if she's not gonna get back to work red flag and guessed he was being raised by a Karen. But honestly, I've really only dealt with a few Karens in my life and didn't think much of it, just that he was a kid being annoying. Me to his mom. Ma'am, could you please explain it to him? I don't have kids, so I'm not too good at this. I was admittedly probably sounding annoyed in all honesty, but I was still trying to be polite, and I don't think I was being unreasonable here. But she seemed to take offense.
Why? He just wants to pet her. It's not a big deal, and he's been acting really good today, and he deserves a treat. I don't see why you won't let him pet her.
Me, definitely annoyed now. Ma'am, she's a working dog. She shouldn't be distracted. I don't mean to be rude, but you're also not wearing masks, and COVID has been known to spread to dogs as well. I'd really prefer no one mess with her. We're in Texas, and I'm sure everyone has heard how poorly the state is handling the pandemic, but the majority of people still refuse to wear masks, and of all the shops I've been to, only one store still has a no mask, no entry rule. Shout out to Skechers, thanks for being so proactive.
Oh, you're one of those people!
Insert eye roll.
Just let him pet the stupid dog so we can move on. The stupid virus is over with. Everything is open now.
I think we're done here, and I just turn and walk off, keeping Sadie in my sight just in case. It should have ended here. She should have just told the kid I was an a-hole or something and moved on. But if she did, I wouldn't be posting this. Instead, she leaves her cart behind, walks up behind me and grabs my shoulder. It's at this point I should mention that I have Sadie because of my PTSD. Now, usually it's controllable. I'm on meds to help with anxiety, and I'm in therapy and don't usually have a problem. Hell, I even love music festivals and raves, and have only had a problem one time when I was trying to leave EDC early and got stopped at the gate because they were about to set off fireworks. And something about the bangs and being close enough to feel the vibrations of that many fireworks got to me. I guess with the quarantine being so recent and not having to worry about people randomly grabbing me and touching me and stuff, I mean, hell, even someone rolling absolute balls at a rave usually asks before they hug you or something. I'd kinda let my guard down a bit. This set me off though, and without even thinking, I grabbed her hand and spun around, twisting her arm and pushed as hard as I could, sending her sprawling to the ground. "What the hell is wrong with you?" I yelled, and I said some other stuff, but I was mad and honestly don't remember what I said. Something about no means no, and I don't want her nasty-ass hands on me. At this point, Sadie had gotten between us in her stance and had began to bark, loudly and repetitively, as she's been trained, so she can get someone's attention. I noticed that Sadie was off her damn leash, because somehow the kid had gotten in front of my cart and unhooked it. Luckily, Sadie is the best girl and doesn't need a leash to do her job. She never even thought about running and just stood in front of me barking. The child was crying after seeing what happened to his mom and getting scared that the cute puppy was now looking pretty damn mean. Now, Sadie wouldn't hurt a fly, but this woman didn't know that, and Sadie has a very intimidating bark. Without even standing, this woman was scrambling to get back from me and grabs at her cart to stand up. Of course, employees start running to see what's going on, and when one gets there, she asks what's going on.
This man's dog tried to attack me! I was just trying to get his attention and it bit me!
Now, I've browsed the sub enough to know where this was headed, and I wasn't in the mood. Look, just call the cops and grab the camera footage. I'm not gonna play the he said, she said game. The employee calls for the manager, who calls the cops and asks us to come to the front office to get things sorted out. We start to head toward the front office, but once there, Entitled Mother says she doesn't have time for this and has places to be, and just walks out of the store. No one tries to stop her, but the manager looks at the footage and prints off her face to put on the banned people wall. And when the cops arrive, they say there's nothing they can do since she already left. I got an employee discount for my food, which was nice, but left in a pretty bad mood because of the interaction. After getting home, I give Sadie a small slab of steak for being such a good girl, and I just took a shower and went to bed. Didn't get anything done that I needed to, but it had been a long day and I was extra annoyed. So that's it. Sadly, no real repercussions for Karen, other than maybe a bruise or two, where she hit the tiles and a traumatized kid. But if this sub is any indication, Karens don't learn from stuff like that. Here's hoping the kid learned a thing or two at least. Wow. What is it with Karens and their need to harass people, especially someone with a service animal? Why she couldn't just take no for an answer is beyond me. And how dare she grab the OP like that, not even knowing or caring why he had a dog in the first place, only to run off after causing a scene because the OP decided to defend themselves. What a sad and pathetic woman. What did you guys think of this story? I'd really like to hear how you feel about it, as well as today's other stories in the comments. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for tuning in with me, Jesse. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and check out what other stories I have for you. Have a beautiful day, and try to be nice to someone. I'll catch you in the next one.